Hi, everyone. I'm Carla. Thanks so much for joining us for our very first podcast. We are really excited about sharing this opportunity with each other and with you. And we look forward to sharing our life journeys and the ups and downs that we find. And we're hoping that some of the things we find that help us will help you also, and that we can offer this friendship and support to you. So, again, thank you so much. And Ramie, you had something to talk about today, right?
Yeah, I want to bring up the subject of resistance.
That's a
And
good
I
one.
notice it in my own self, and then I notice it in my family and friends. And what I'm referring to is every day, everyone says, I have a lot going on. Okay, yes, you do. We all do, right? But we only have 24 hours in one day, and it's pretty filled up with work and duties and commitments and goals. And I guess it's a pet peeve of mine because I don't understand sometimes. We have the tools, and if you don't have the tools, why don't you ask? And then when I show the tools, it's not just me, but anybody who shows you tools, I just wonder, why do we always resist? It drives me crazy. And a good example is my son's significant other came in this weekend, and we went to the doctor, and she's a um, natural medicine doctor, and actually, Jessica is her name, doesn't go to doctors anymore because of her cancer treatment. And she lost her breast and just, it was horrible, horrible. So I understand. But last time she was here, I talked her into seeing the doctor. And so we had a follow up visit. And what amazed me was the doctor was very kind and asked the right questions. And Jessica's so stressed out. And the doctor told her, and she even gave scientific results. Why don't you tap? And I'm thinking the same thing. Why don't we tap? Why don't we do what we're supposed to do? And it drives me crazy. It really does because I just feel like we're all here in this together, and I have resistance, but I do make myself do it finally. I get it, but I just kind of want to tap into what is this resistance? Why? We're going to be so powerful and we're going to be so great that we're afraid of it? Or are we lazy? Um, uh, what is the resistance? I don't understand. Maybe you gals can help me understand because of course it's my profession to help you change, and I get it, and I do allow for the resistance because no way do I sit in my office and suggest these things. The next time you come in, voila, you did it all. No, 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 no. But it is nice to talk about the resistance. And so that's what I want to talk about. The floor is open to you, girls.
Well, I see resistance starting as whatever underlying emotion it might be, fear or control or whatever. But it's that first instinct of the fight or flight coming in, and that leads to the resistance. Whatever emotion it is that we feel, then the hemispheres of the brain then go and don't communicate with each other and are trying to find a way to handle things, and you don't listen to your spirit, and so it jumps into resistance. I don't know. I know we all have that I deal with
Yeah,
that. I deal with that a lot, yeah. And
yeah,
It's just
yeah.
it's just
And
a
just you
way.
talking reminds me of my ancestors. And I know some of the stuff that I resist is not even mine. I really think it's passed on or inherited or adopted, or somehow we created all this drama just to keep the resistance.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
that's what I want to let go of. I want us to explore the options of letting it go, just trying it on for size, even a little bit,
That's
even
good.
a little bit. Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
starting somewhere. And, we could do a tapping session maybe in the future about why I'm so resistant. Why do I not want to change, even though I really want to change? And I know it's frightening. I know it's new. I know it's not comfortable, but I think it's so much needed in our world today is to at least honor the resistance, give it a name, resistance, and just I guess acknowledging it is really good. It really is. I feel better just saying
it
this,
is.
and so I just want everyone to really feel their resistance and then know that it's okay. It's really a natural part of life. But, to move forward, we honor it and then we talk about it and find someone that um, you feel safe with. That's important, feeling safe and trusting uh, yourself, the person, and of course, your definition of the higher self, God, Buddha, Jesus, Mohammed, whoever you call, right? So, yeah, I just want people to know that it's okay. It's safe. It's really safe, and I hope they get that message.
Yeah, I dealt with resistance. I guess you could call it it's the same word, I guess, or the same feeling no matter what word you give it. I guess for me, I see it as trying of perhaps not of trusting the universe. It's where I try to think that I have to what I want is best and I have to bring it about and take all the steps I need and push and push and push to get what I think is best instead of um, instead of just saying, okay, here I am. Right. I don't know.
Yes, the word comes up as allowance, allowing, you know, um, just let it come to you. Because I don't really think, I mean, as long as I've been here on planet Earth, I don't think it's supposed to be this hard. I really don't. And I think we need to just get out of our way because the more we think about this resistance and how we can't do it is so false. I really do think we should just let it be and trust. That's a huge, huge word and a huge action to take. But you got to start somewhere. And yeah, so I'm learning to trust myself and my divine. And it's scary at times, but I'm tired of beating the streets, so to speak, and not seeing any results. And so I've just decided in my wisdom to just allow. And I'm okay with it. I really am. I'm not um, freaking out because I don't have all that want and blah, blah, blah. So I'm just enjoying the process with trepidation. But
Well,
it's good though.
yeah, it is. I think for me, it kind of starts in having an awareness of, or trying to have a big awareness, really, of, or constant awareness is probably the better term for um, how I feel in my body. Like if I'm nervous or if I'm that pushing and controlling, it's like, I can tell in my body where there's some place in it that is too tense or doesn't feel right, or it has that pressure there, the resistance there, right? And it's like, if I can become quiet enough so that when I first feel that in my body, and then try to become grounded through breath or other um, exercises that are very helpful, tapping, or I use Psych K or other things too that can keep you grounded. Then you're much more able to relax and to trust and to make the decisions you need to, so that you're not in resistance, that you're working with the flow as much as possible. I don't know if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
I'm glad you brought up grounding. What a huge difference it makes in your life. Because when you're grounded, you're present. You're right here, right now. And
Yeah.
sometimes that's all it takes is just to call yourself back to the moment. And then, find out, like, what are you nervous about? What are you afraid about? Where is that feeling in your body? And see if you could find the story that goes with it is important, because it's so intertwined with past and uh, and you obviously are still but you're still concerned about addressing it because it is scary, you know. But once you do, it's always better if you sit with it. Sit with it. I found that out after years and years of, escaping with whatever, alcohol, just getting away, just not dealing with it at all. And I find that if I dress it and I ground myself, then it tends to work itself out. And that's a good thing.
Um, Ramie, like you had brought up ancestral, but it seems to me for you, because you have a really traumatic ancestry, right?
Right, I do. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if you would want to share any of that or whatever, but it's a way for people to see. I mean, most of us have our own traumas or other larger traumas that maybe happened in our families, um, that really truly affect us a lot. And I have found that greatly in my work. And but So, Ramie, if you don't mind sharing, just however much you would want to, um, I don't know, to help them see where you're coming from. I mean, because I think a lot of that ancestral, like you said, is probably plays in a great part to that resistance you feel.
Yeah, it really plays on me. My background is I was conceived in a refugee camp in Germany, and it was World War II, and the war was over. My mom and dad were captured from their homes in former
And
Yugoslavia and taken to the prison camps. And so I was conceived after the war, but yet my parents were still in a concentration camp that turned into a refugee camp. So I didn't know it when I was young, that I inherited all of her feelings of fear, of not belonging, of not knowing where I fit in. So that's what I dealt with for so many years. I just didn't know where I belonged. I didn't feel like I belonged in America. I didn't feel like I belonged in former Yugoslavia. I never was there. I certainly didn't belong in Germany just because I was born there. So I had this misidentity for so long. I just didn't know who I was. And then my given name, and then that was traumatic because people didn't understand the origin of it and they couldn't pronounce it. And then the customs were so different. My husband will tell me sometimes, do you remember the nursery rhyme? And I'm thinking, no, we didn't do nursery rhymes. We didn't grow up like that. We just were surviving. We had to learn the language. We had to learn the customs. We had to fit in, even though we didn't. So I have all that to work out, um, and so I have most of it anyway. So yeah, that's my background. So it's devastating to know that my parents went through that, and then I'm the result. And I can see it in my children. You could see the pattern, of inheritance. I always felt like I wasn't good enough. I didn't belong. Where do I go? And my children were born here, all in America, but I see their struggles. Do they fit in? They feel like an outcast. They feel different, but yet they were born here. So it does matter. Uh, your lineage, your heritage, your ancestors matter. And if you don't really know about it, you might want to explore ancestors. And there's certainly many processes and healers and practitioners like Carla who will help you address it. So that's a good thing. It's a good thing to find out exactly where you came from and what your parents believed and what they went through. And it really helps you to decipher your uh, motions and actions. And I mean, it's not easy. It doesn't mean that, voila, yay, but you do have an opening for hope because we can change whatever we decided upon earlier to change it into something really good and positive because we're working through it, not running away from it. Huge difference there. And the best way to start is grounding. Yeah, grounding.
Well, and
Because I used to not be in my body. I mean, for years, I just wasn't here. I don't know about you, but uh, you know, just trying to figure it out.
well, I hated my body for uh,
Did you?
much of a large portion. I had it started for sure when I was 10. Yeah, um, totally started hating my body, and it led into anorexia for several years until I was probably about 20 when I got out of that mindset. And but I was going to say, beside ancestral, or in addition to ancestral, because like Ramie's would kind of be both. She'd have the ancestral part and a lot of gestational trauma was what I was getting to. Um, a lot of mine, I know I have found trauma from ancestors extremely far back in my family line, great trauma. But for myself personally, it started in gestation. Um, and I had a really good life, and it was my parents loved me and took good care of me. But they got pregnant sooner than they wanted to a second time. They had one baby that was colicky, and then me. Then they came pregnant again, and they weren't ready because the first one was only a few months old, and it was like, that resistance that was felt. Then the baby, the picks that up. The fetus picks that up in the womb, and so you start life with that built-in resistance, right? Yeah. Uh,
Yes,
so,
you're right. Yeah.
Jessica,
So,
yeah, Jessica, you have anything to add?
Jessica.
Well, I appreciate you both sharing your stories. And Ramie, I like how you said, you've changed it into positive, and working through it, because, part of that resistance is just seeing it and making all of the stories and the things that you've been through part of your tissues, and you concentrate on that more. And so one of the things I've learned to say is seeing all the things that have either happened in my past or happened to family or ancestors, seeing even what's happening in your present situation and saying, what do I want instead? And so then putting the focus on, what do I want instead? Well, this is what's happened. Okay, well, what do I want instead? And as I've learned with Carla over the years, making that into like affirmations and saying that on the daily basis. So this is what I'm seeing in my family. This is what's happened. But what do I want instead? Okay, well, right now I personally have, I've told you guys, a heel spur I'm dealing with, and it's painful. And I just worked the hospital the last 2 days and it hurts. But what do I want instead? I want to be able to walk freely. I want to be able to walk with no pain. I want to be able to walk wherever I want to, and be confident and positive and sure-footed. I want to be sure-footed. So again, just with all these things, yes, acknowledging, yes, affirming our ancestors because of what they've been through, but they probably didn't have, Ramie, as you've said, the tools, right? They probably didn't have the tools. And I meet so many people in the hospital on a daily basis who don't have these tools. They don't have grounding. They don't have breath work. They don't have tapping. They don't understand any of that. They're not at that level, and they may never be. That may not be their experience in this life on this earth. But just trying to get them to think, well, I'm in pain. My stomach hurts. My head hurts. I've had a stroke. I've had a heart attack. What do you want instead? And just trying to put that focus on the positive things and then bring in that manifestation. So that's, we've all got experiences, we've all got things we're dealing with, and we always will, I believe, on this earth. I don't think we can ever come to some, and we may, I don't know, I shouldn't say no, we may come to some enlightened point where our bodies don't feel any more pain and don't feel any more anything. At that point, we'll probably just ascend. but we'll always have that contrast. So, as I have a heel spur, I think, I thought I was doing really good before the heel spur came along, and I'm like, oh, now I can't even walk. Shoot, this hurts. So that's offering me that contrast to then say, well, what do I want instead? I want to be able to walk, And so, yeah, that's just what I'm kind of focusing on, again, with the resistance, which can be felt in so many different ways. What do I want instead? What do I want instead? Writing that down, focusing on that daily, instead of my foot hurts, now my hip's hurting. It hurts to walk.
Right.
Oh, woe is me, poor me. So that's been my realization lately, if you will. So.
That's great. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that brings up the topic of myself and thinking and feeling I was a victim for years and years and years. And I was, but I don't want to be a victim anymore. So I'm going to step up and own my responsibility, because when you're a victim, then you can just blame others. It's my mom's fault. It's my dad's fault. It's whose ever fault. But I have to realize that I play a part in this life, in this construction of me, and I got to own up to what I did, what I brought to the table, and how much I want to believe of that old story. And that's what I love about the times we're living in. It's like you can own up to it and let it go and start anew, and there's so many practitioners and there's so many ways to get access to this information. Our podcast is one, of course, but there's plethora resources. You must be aware that you're unhappy. You must be aware that whatever you're doing is not working. You've tried it 100 different times. And then you get real, and then you realize that, all right, what do I need to do first? And there's, movement. a chair yoga in your chair, meditation, um, and admitting your resistance. I mean, there's just starting being honest with yourself. How much do you want to claim, and how much do you want to own? And once you own most of your crap, your beliefs, which are false, because we are amazing. We are incredibly powerful. We need to get out of our own limited way. We really, really do. And stop telling yourself these lies. It's nonsense. Yes, we were told that when we were little, but they didn't know any better either, you know? But I think it's time, and I think we're in the time that we can start tooting our horn, own it. I'm a practitioner. I love helping people. Carla loves helping people. Jessica loves helping people. And you're not going to find that in the media. You're not going to, you're going to find that, so and so heard, the shootings, the killings. But you have to develop your own mindset. And your mindset, I hope you choose happiness and peace and contemplation, and understand that as you go along the way, there is nothing but resistance. I mean, but it doesn't have to be fought. It can just be accepted. So I think that's what I'll have to say.
I like Jessica's idea of when you first notice it to say, well, what do I want instead? Because, well, really, what I found that for much of my life, I didn't know I could change it, and I didn't know what I wanted. y- Um, Especially because I was in a marriage with a drug addict and alcoholic for 5 or 6 years, and it was like by the time that ended, it was like I didn't know who I was or what I wanted or what I could do or I didn't know anything basically. I didn't know me. And it it really it wasn't just that. It was kind of my whole life because I never um stepped into that being me without the fear or resistance of some kind. I mean, sure, I did made some choices and did things as growing up and things that were definitely just my thing, what I wanted, and I followed through and did well and everything. But on an internal level, I wasn't um, um, dealing with not being all I could be. Right.
Right. And I agree. I don't think we do know we have options. And that's what I think is so cool about this time, because it's in our face. It's like, we can't do this anymore. We're killing ourselves. We're destroying our Mother Earth. We're we're just not dealing with the honesty of ourselves. And once we do admit that, yes, we're not perfect. We're not we're not whatever we think we are. Just get real with what we are. And we're divine beings making headway into this life. And yeah, I don't know, about, I'm sure I'm sure everyone stumbles upon it. I hope that there is options. There is hope. I
But
hope
but
so.
what but one thing, like you said, of we're killing the earth, we're doing this, and yes, certain groups of people are doing that, certain individuals are doing that, but
Mhm.
we as a whole aren't doing it. I think we, the people, we as the majority of us as um, loving, kind people are not doing that, and it's so often that that we are blamed, and in media or in by people in charge, of the world in general. And and that contributes to putting ourselves down, right? And I think part of stepping into knowing yourself and starting your journey of moving forward to get what you want in life is to realize, no, that's not me. I am here. Find who you are and start and know that you don't have to take the blame that gets given out by uh, the
Right,
world in
right,
general, right?
exactly. Yeah, well, yeah, that makes us accountable when we can choose one action we could take daily. Right, start with
To-
that. It's self love is huge. Tell yourself you love yourself. Just start small. Start small. Move. Start small. Pray. Do affirmations. But yes, just start small because our small acts will save the world.
yeah, yeah. For me, a lot of the starting small was the breath work, was to um, picture as if I was breathing in from up in the air and down to my heart, and then down to my feet and below and into the earth, and then back up from the earth to my heart and back up. So back and forth, the central channel breath was a big start for me in really helping to stay grounded. But more than that, it was, we're not just our physical being. We are spirit, and our spirit is made to be in charge of our mind. And that breath work of breathing in this universal spirit, right? The spirit of that's between all the particles of light that make up the whole world everywhere, to breathe that into me really helped um, me feel and realize how much a part of that spirit I am, and to help me to a reminder every day to live as spirit.
Yeah, breath
So,
work is powerful, powerful. And actually, breath is powerful. Sometimes someone will come into my office or just in general when I meet them. If we take 3 deep breaths, we're in another reality, we're present. We're right here, right now. And take a breath and just feel it. If that's a great way to start. It's a great way. It doesn't cost any money and it only takes so little time and it's just a wonderful way to start. So my message is today that there is hope. There is a way. I hope you find it. There's breath work, there's tapping, there's yoga, there's meditation, there's journaling. And I can't wait to um, find that it's common, where we're not the outsiders anymore, like when we started, like, what do you do? But it's getting mainstream, um, yeah, people are not so like, oh, you're weird. No, they're interested now. They're like, what do you do? And so that's hopeful. That's really hopeful. So that's my message today. Find your shining star, however you want to change. It could be the smallest thing. Take 3 deep breaths, close your eyes, and feel your heart, you know? So, yeah, I feel good about starting there.
hey, Ramie, could you, before we close today, could you lead us in a 1 minute meditation or something like that to maybe help um, people to focus or to ground for
Yeah,
a tiny bit?
yeah, let's do that now because we're coming up on the time, right? We want 40 minutes for this podcast.
That was kind of our goal,
So,
yeah, to stay around the 40-minute mark. Yeah.
okay, so may I start?
Oh, sure. Go ahead, Ramie.
Okay. So what I want you to do is I want everyone to uncross their legs and sit up straight or lay down wherever you are. Make sure you're very comfortable. Shut your cell phones off or pause it, or just be here right now and let me guide you. So this is my 1-minute meditation, and just follow along, please. So let's take a big, deep belly breath. Inhale. Hold it at the top. Hold that breath. Hold it. And then slowly let it go, like throughout a straw. Very good. And again, inhale, big belly breath. Hold it. And then blow it out through the straw. And then one more. Feel yourself relax. Inhale, big belly breath. Hold it. And then slowly let it go. And close your eyes if they're not. Ground your feet. And I just want you to feel your body. Yes. And I really want you to be right here, right now. There's nowhere to go, nothing to do, but follow my voice. Yeah. All right, go inside your body. Go to your feet. And from the feet, the soles of the feet, I want you to imagine cords or roots. And I want you to see them from your feet going down, 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 down into the center of Mother Earth. So we got a little ways to go. Keep going, down, down, down. And when you get there, it's so plush, it's so green, it's so beautiful, so peaceful. So I want you to take your roots or cords and anchor them in water or a crystal. Why? Because water and a crystal is a magnifier. It just amps up the energy. So if this is brand new to you, just imagine those cords, those roots anchoring into water or crystal. And pause, feel it, imagine it. What does it feel like? Love feels so good, so good. And now I want you to scoop up all that energy. Imagine, pretend you're just offering it up to yourself. Feels so good. And then bring it back up through the earth, the rocks, the mud, the soil, back into your feet. Yes. Charge up those feet. And then let's go. Let's go to the left heel, the right heel, the calves, the thighs, and stop at the tailbone. That's your first chakra. And that has everything to do with being grounded, everything to do with feeling safe, everything to do with your money. So feel it. And then let the energy go up your spine, back of the neck, back of the head, and then out through the top of the head to the cosmos. If you can imagine, it's kind of like a firecracker, explosion of light, of energy, of stars. It's just so luminous. It's so beautiful. So above and so below. You are grounded. Feel that. Feel it. Now I want you to go back inside your body, and I want you to go to your heart space, in the front of your heart. See yourself walking in front of your heart. And walk to the back of the heart. Yes, there's that golden door. This door is luminous. Open the door. And then step inside the chamber of your heart. Ooh, the minute you get in, you can feel the love. Love, love, love. It's your heart. And so as you're walking down the chamber of your heart, I want you to really see yourself motivated, confident, feeling so good. And as you walk toward the center of your heart, you stop. Yeah, this is where you sit every day in your heart space, feeling the love, thinking of love, being the love. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. This is it. You are it. You are love. All right, we're going to stay here for a minute. Now, disclaimer, thoughts come. It's okay. That's what we do. We're human. We think. But fortunately, we don't need them in meditation. So what you do is when you see a thought, you just send it back. Go back to the heart space, right where you're at. You're already here. And just stay in love starting now. All right, that was a minute. How did you do? I hope you felt some peace, some love. And that's what you do every day. Before you open your eyes, though, I want you to set your intention. Set your intention for today. What do you want? What do you desire? Peace, love, flow. Yeah. Come back to the moment by grounding yourself, because energy follows intention. So set your intention and then open your eyes and welcome back.
That was really nice, Ramie. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Ramie.
You're welcome. We do this every day. Or at least we try. Yeah, we try.
Yeah, very good. Okay, well, I guess that wraps up our first podcast. And I want to thank all of you for joining us and watching us whenever in time and space that you are watching us, and know that we love you and we love the universe, and that we're here to share what we can from our lives that would be helpful to you.
Thank you, Carla. Thank you, Jessica. And you girls have a great day, okay?
All righty.
Thanks, ladies.
Bye-bye.
Bye.